Hundreds of people have staged a mass demonstration in Benghazi in the latest show of force to demand the adoption of Islamic law Sharia in the newly liberated North African Mediterranean country. The demonstration that is lasting for days might irritate the predominantly secular technocratic interim government and disappoint the Western powers that supported the Libyan people getting rid of former dictator Muammar Gaddafi. Chanting "the people want an Islamic state, the people want Sharia," and staging a military parade, the protesters confirmed that they would protect the sanctity of Sharia with their lives. Believing that all atrocities and misfortunes the country has been plagued with are due to the Muslim desertion of Islamic traditions, the protesters, who are described by some secular activists as radical Islamic groups, argue that the one and only path for salvation is by clinging on the Islamic values.
We have become a weak nation. That is exactly what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said. All nations are about to come against you Muslims, as you have become as trivial as foam. This is just because you have deserted the God's law.
Waving flags and banners, preachers have demanded imposing Islamic values that have been denied in practice rather than in theory for 4 decades, arguing that it is now time for cleansing the homelands of Islam from filth and positivist laws that have been inherited from the West and ruined the Islamic nation for ages. Waving black flags imposed with "I bear witness there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the Prophet of Allah," Sharia guardians are determined to retain the Islamic law and also adopt the Palestinian case.
We are the nation of Islam. We have to cling on to Sharia law, especially to liberate Palestine. I'm sure that once we come back to the law of Allah, we will regain Palestine.
In Libya, one of the most conservative Islamic countries, there are absolutely no non-Muslim communities, with the possible exception of individual expatriates. Secular dictatorship that ruled the country for 42 years of repression came to an end by what is so-called the Arab Spring upheaval. Libyan Islamic groups who played a major role in the revolution that unseated former dictator Muammar Gaddafi were severely repressed under his rule. They believe that the revolution was first started as part of the jihad against God's enemies, and that process is ongoing until the country is totally and utterly liberated from non-Islamic values. Mahmoud Hussein, Press TV, Benghazi.